Welcome back to the Explanation Pro. Today I'll recap a horror thriller film called 12 Feet Deep. Spoilers incoming. The movie begins with a pool opening at Kati Public Pool. A woman named Brie jumps into the pool and swims. On the side, the manager of the place posted a note that the place will be closed for an extended holiday. Brie gets out of the water for a while to check on her blood and puts her engagement ring in her bag. Outside, Brie's sister, Janna, puts her phone in the glove compartment of Brie's car. Meanwhile, the manager caught the janitress who is attempting to steal from the lost and found. He is frustrated with her because he just called her parole officer to report that she is doing a good job outside prison. With that, he tells her to finish her job and that she is done. Back to the pool, Janna joins Brie and swims with her. It turns out that Janna become a drug addict, but she is already 3 months clean. The manager, then, announces that the place will be closing. He sees the two sisters, still in the pool, and tells them to get out of it. At the bench, Brie is about to show her sister her engagement ring, but it is missing. People start leaving and the manager spots them again, reminds them to leave immediately. Janna, then, sees Brie's engagement ring at the pool, stuck at the filter grate. Brie dives to the pool and Janna shortly follows. Seeing that no one is around, the manager closes the pool and leaves the place. Back at the sisters trying to get the ring, Janna's hair is sucked at the filter. They pull it off and immediately resurface, only to find out that the pool is already covered. Brie is still worried about her ring while Janna is mad that they are trapped. They try to call for help but they receive no response. Brie tells her sister that someone will be back and that she should stop freaking out. Janna feels nauseous and she thinks that the manager trapped them on purpose. The two try to push the cover but it is made out of fiberglass. Brie insists that they should keep trying to find a way out. Then, they swim around to find a weak spot, and luckily, Janna finds a hole while Brie finds a broken tile. Breaking the tile in two, Brie uses it to scrape through the hole, planning to widen it but it is not working. Janna, then, starts talking about the worst possible way they could die when Brie cuts her off by telling her that her boyfriend, David, proposes to her. Brie knows that David will come looking for her if he notices that she is gone and they will be saved, so they just need to wait. Janna sarcastically agrees and Brie asks what is wrong with her. Brie emphasizes that it is not her fault that they are trapped, to which Janna, again, sarcastically agrees, saying that Brie is perfect. The two argues and Janna tells Brie that she always likes to brag about how perfect her life is. This made Brie realizes that Janna did it. Janna sees the ring in her bag. Envy, she throws the ring into the pool. Angry, Brie goes back to the ring and pulls it off by herself. Later, she goes back to Janna, who is still scraping the hole, and convinces her that they need to work together for them to get out. Brie points out that the filter grate at the is kind of loose and thinks they might be able to pull it off, then use it to break the cover. However, Janna thinks it is pointless when they hear Brie's phone ring. David is calling her. Meanwhile, Brie goes back to try to get the filter grate but fails again. Night falls and the lights go out. Brie's phone rings again. This makes Brie confident that when David notices she is not answering her phone, he will call for help. But Janna thinks otherwise and is being negative. Having enough of her sister, Brie tells Janna to not start a fight. Janna, then, tells her that she never liked David and this makes Brie angry. Shortly after, Janna notices that Brie is not fine. Asking her about it, Brie reveals to her that she is diabetic and she needs her insulin shot, or she will fall into a diabetic coma. Meanwhile, we see the janitress is still at the place. Going back to the sisters, Janna is scraping the hole when Brie switches with her. Noticing her burn marks, Janna asks her but Brie does not want to talk about it. But Janna points out that she never really knew the whole story the whole time. It turns out that their father is very abusive. Brie emphasizes that their father is a monster. She tells Janna that when the fire started, their father was so drunk, he did not know he was burning. She tried to wake him up, causing the burn marks in her arms. Then, they hear the door open. The janitress enters the pool area and sees Brie's belongings. She quickly gets her hand on Brie's wallet and phone when she is surprised when the two sisters shout from the covered pool. Brie and Janna ask the janitress to help them, but she is busy going through Brie's wallet. The sisters feel relieved but later realize that something is not right. The janitress sees the security camera and decides to turn it off and opens the light. Going back to the pool area, she starts asking questions to the sisters. This makes Janna lose her patience and starts talking to the janitress sarcastically. She, then, tells Janna to be polite and asks Brie for her phone's password, saying that she will call help once she opens the phone. Janna tells Brie not to give her the password, but she still does. They beg the janitress to help them, but she just plays David's voicemail. The two start getting angry and the janitress just browses through Brie's phone. Afterward, the janitress bargains with them. She asks for the PIN code of Brie's bank account and promises to let them out afterward. Again, Janna tells her sister not to do it. Receiving no answer from Brie, the janitress leaves and turns the lights off. Janna and Brie argue again and Janna points out that the janitress is just blackmailing them. She tells Brie that they should wait for a few more hours, but with Brie's condition, she cannot wait that long. Meanwhile, the janitress turns off the pool heater and gets back to the sisters. With no other choice, Brie gives her PIN code to the janitress in exchange for her promise to let them out after she gets the money. But Janna knows she is lying. Leaving the two behind, the sisters try to warm each other. After some time, both of them are freezing but the janitress is not back yet. Janna tries to get to the filter grate but fails. When she resurfaces, she sees Brie sleeping and she immediately wakes her up. She, then, says she is useless and blames herself for what is happening to them. Brie consoles her sister. Afterward, Janna is scraping the hole once again and they talk about Janna's trauma, depression, and suicide attempt. Janna, then, reveals to her sister that their abusive father is still in her head. Brie comforts her sister and reminds her that their father is gone. Janna is about to continue scraping when she is scared to see the janitress peeping into the hole. It turns out that she is listening to the sisters for a while. They beg her to let them out as part of the deal, but the janitress tells them that Brie's account only has $80 and it is not enough for her. Janna, then, tells her that Brie is diabetic and she needs her insulin shot immediately, or she will die. But the janitress does not believe them. Brie begs her but she just does not care. Angry and frustrated, Janna slams the cover and shouts to the janitress to let them out. The janitress, then, tells them that she will leave them to die. Then, we see the sisters both freezing but still determined to figure out a way to get out of the pool. Janna holds the tile firmly and sharpens it. Faking her crying, Janna tells the janitress that she needs to tell her something only she can hear. When she puts her ear in the hole, Janna suddenly stabs her with the sharpened tile. The janitress screams in pain and immediately attends to her wound. As revenge, the janitress turns on the chlorine machine. Brie and Janna immediately try to cover it using the swimming trunks that Janna sees earlier but fails. Having a hard time to breath, they go to the hole and beg the janitress to help them. Luckily, the janitress turns the machine off, but she threatens them that she can open it anytime. Then, she tells the sisters that in order for her to let them out, she wants to have Brie's engagement ring. Janna pleads to her sister not to give it, but Brie still does, just wanting to go home. Upon getting the ring, the janitress tells them that whenever they feel low, they must always remember that someone is having it worse. Janna, then, asks if she will let them go now that she has Brie's ring, but she says that she will once she is ready. After the janitress is gone, Janna apologizes to her sister but she swims away from her. Later, Brie wakes up upon hearing the cover of the pool opening. She, then, asks if it is Janna when the door opens and David walks in to help her. He hugs Brie and asks where Janna is. David tells her that she just cannot leave Janna and that her sister needs her. Then, Brie wakes up and sees Janna pointing the sharpened tile to her neck, planning to kill herself. She talks to her sister out of it. Janna points out that even if they survive, Brie has a life to come back to, while she does not have any. Luckily, Brie is able to convince Janna that they can survive together. Janna apologizes for everything she has done and the two hug each other. Meanwhile, the janitress is mesmerized by Brie's ring when David calls Brie's phone again. She plays the voicemail and David says he will call the cops if Brie still does not answer her phone. Worried that she might get caught again, the janitress goes back to the sisters. She knocks at the cover and tells them that she is not one of the monsters that the sisters are talking about. Brie and Janna, then, swear that they will change and will appreciate each other more. With this, the janitress punches the code that the manager gave her, planning to finally free the sisters. Unfortunately, the code is not working and she tells the sisters that they are on their own now. Janna begs her to help them, and Brie suggests that she should call the cops. But she cannot do it, afraid of getting back to jail again, and she leaves. Brie and Janna are left together, warming each other up. After some time, Brie begins to lose consciousness. She, then, confesses to her sister that on the night of the fire, she was not helping, but actually preventing their father to escape. She tells Janna that she kills the monsters. Then, Janna brings her to the corner and she does everything to pull the filter grate out but still fails. She comes back to her sister and gets the swimming trunks she uses as her pillow, then uses it to pull out the grate. And she succeeded this time. Janna immediately uses it to smash the cover in the hole and finally manages to break it. She pokes her hand through the broken fiberglass, and she wounds herself in the process. Afterward, we see Janna succeeded in pulling Brie out of the pull, but she is already unconscious. She, then, gets the insulin from Brie's bag and injects her with it. She continues waking her up until she breathes again. Suddenly, the janitress shows up, pointing a gun at them. She was about to leave, but when she thinks of the possible outcome if the sisters survive, she cannot help but finish the job. Janna, then, begs her not to kill them. But the janitress steps forward, ready to pull the trigger. Luckily, she did not pull it and gives back Brie's engagement ring instead. Janna, then, calls the cops for help and tells the janitress to leave so she would not get caught. Afterward, Brie wakes up and sees her sister standing beside her. Brie asks if it is real and Janna confirms it. Janna, then, gives the ring back to her. And when Brie asks her how did she do it, Janna responds that she kills the monster. The movie ends with the rescue team, along with Janna, taking Brie out of the public pool. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe my channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video.